Hello, welcome to the Potato Garden Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan, and today we have a special guest on. We have the legendary anime music video editor, Amykyst, aka Oscar.
Yeah, please call me Oscar.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We also have Troy and Ethan too. But
Yeah, what's up?
But they're the usuals, so you know.
The resident memers, yep.
So Oscar,
I'm the new memer.
yes, you are. Welcome to the Potato Garden Podcast.
Yo, I'm happy to be here. Happy to meet some new folks.
So your channel has 3.38 thousand subscribers. That's
It's getting there.
That's quite impressive. And I'm actually quite a big
I haven't
fan.
uploaded in a while.
Yeah, I've
You
noticed.
probably see.
You use Sony Vegas, right, for your editing?
Yeah, Sony Vegas 14. I bought it a while back.
Yeah, I'm still new to Sony Vegas, and it's quite a how do I say this? Complicated.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with any editing software, there's just a lot of, I don't know, the more you do it, really. Just I don't know.
So, what made you want to do AMVs?
Honestly, a lot of the YouTube content I've made, started out with just like seeing other people do stuff, and I was like, or seeing content creators make things and being like, hey, that looks cool. I like that. I want to make something like that. I always find that, like, I guess the best things that the things that I like to most to create are like things that I also enjoy. You kind of maybe write what you read, so to speak. So
Right, yeah.
yeah, I started making like League of Legends montages. You probably remember. And obviously those weren't super popular, but
It's
started
something.
doing that and stream highlights, which are kind of a nice, like, or okay, quote unquote stream highlights. Really, it's just random shit. I was playing League, but they're good memories.
I have another question that a friend of mine suggested me ask you. Now, this is quite a controversial question. Who do you vote for? Or I mean, whose side are you on?
Wait.
Is
Jonborgva, you mean in the last U.S. presidential election? Who would you have voted?
no, not that one.
Oh,
Wait, is this the Palestine one?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, you gotta ease them into it, Jonborgva.
Well,
You can't just
Hi,
straight
hello,
in.
welcome, new guest. What is your thoughts on Palestine? Like what?
Well, I mean,
Our friend, to give context, our friend is in political science. He's
Oh boy.
I think he's graduated.
Calvin.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just very. I think
He's
a
very
centrist.
interested in what he likes.
Yeah, he's passionate about what he does or what
That's
he's
good.
learned. So
I would also say he's very opinionated.
that's true, as I think most of us are, at least a little bit.
Oh yeah, hard to escape the human bias.
That is true.
So wait, like, what was the question?
So I guess you support Israel or Palestine is the question.
I
However,
honestly,
you
I have
can use
no,
as
I have a
much
lack
tact
of
as you want to
information to
Honestly,
even have an opinion.
that's exactly what I said. I was like, I don't know who has the moral high ground.
This reminds me of there's what is it? There's a YouTube channel and is it the Onion News Network? And so it says, like, the title of the video is there's a complex situation in, I think it's Nigeria or something. And basically somebody asks the question, nobody on the panel knows anything about it, but of course they have to say something because they say, oh, the situation is very tense. And they go to the next person. It's like, yeah, it's a decision of what's right and what's wrong and what do they really mean. And then, like, they say all this vague stuff and nobody gets to any answers. And it's quite a good skit. I would highly recommend it.
I mean, that's pretty good for a podcast too. Just come up with a.
That's a lot of political debates, though, or at least the ones I've seen.
The other side, one side's just throwing out jargon, while the other one's like, actually. I do have another question, and Troy's not gonna like this, but if you had to bring one historical figure into the Fate universe, what would you pick?
Okay,
and,
to
like-
get context, what is the Fate universe?
It's an anime series.
Okay.
Fate. Okay. Context is they have a battle
You could
royale.
explain the entire Fate multiverse.
You don't have to explain everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Okay, it's an anime.
I'm
Is
gonna
it like old anime, new anime?
I'm gonna simplify it. Basically, there's a battle royale where there's, I think, 6 classes or something. There's like a rider, like there's saber, lancer, archer, rider, assassin, and caster and berserker, and then they're all just like brought back to life from like they're historical figures that are brought back to life as like a spirit kind of thing.
Okay.
And then they
I think
fight
I'm
for
following.
the Holy Grail.
Interesting. So they're kind of like if you were playing a video game. There's certain classes of characters, and then
Yeah.
they like match up.
Yes, and then they match up with
Okay.
history kind of. So
Interesting.
I'm asking Oscar, what historical figure would he take into the Fate universe?
Like one that doesn't already exist, sort of.
Yeah.
Because okay, I don't really know much about the Fate Go universe, and I think that adds a lot more.
That's okay.
I don't know. It'd probably have to be like a Greek hero, like I don't know, like Achilles. Zeus even
Oh, he's already in it.
I don't know, like-
Ooh.
wait. Zeus is a god, though. I don't know if that really works. But
The-
Zeus is also like in stories, sort of. So
Mhm.
like, would the Olympians count, right?
They kind of
Because
do.
Zeus would be kind of OP, you know. Like,
Usually what they do is they end up just taking a person over someone's body or something like that.
yeah, right.
They're not
Zeus is
actually
an anime girl.
No.
Uh,
Troy is probably just being like, I don't know what it is they're talking about.
I think I kind of understand. However,
All right,
in
Troy,
order to not
what
embarrass myself, I won't. say it.
what historical figure would you take?
I was thinking the survivors from the Australian Ostrich War, or is it Emu War?
Oh.
Whatever one. Because those people have seen some stuff.
Oh, the
They
Emu
saw
War.
all of their people die from emus. I think it's emus. Let me
I-
double
I-
check.
I thought only one person fought in the Emu War, and
Oh no. It was like a war between the people of Australia and emus, and they lost to the emus. So like the survivor, like because they didn't win, the emus are still there. I think maybe not today, but
well, their population definitely is.
it started and ended in November because they lost.
Bruh.
Yeah.
oh, I was gonna say actually. Also, I think he's a character in Fate Apocrypha, but Siegfried would also be pretty broken because he's like invincible.
Wait, Siegfried? What's that from?
He's from the Nibelungenlied, which is like a Germanic heroic epic. It's a heroic chivalric epic.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I took an elective this or last term, I guess, and learned a little bit about Greek, not Greek. I took a Greek myths one as well, but Germanic myths and fairy tales and that stuff. Sort of thing. So
That's pretty cool. I didn't know there was many like Germanic folklore or whatnot.
no, that's a huge I guess cultural thing between the Middle Ages and the
21st century.
Renaissance, I guess.
I
or
don't know.
the after Middle Ages, not the Dark Ages.
Right. I do have another question. What got you into Sea of Thieves?
Oh, Sea of Thieves. Whoa. I think a couple of my friends were playing it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, a couple of my friends were playing at the time. It was James, Derek, and that was it. And I think Carson was into it as well. These names probably mean nothing, but they're just anyways. Some arbitrary handful of people were playing it. So I was
For
like,
context, Derek is my brother.
yeah. So so I just thought, yeah, it was good. And it was, I guess at the time, I think it just had left beta, so it was relatively bare bones. But
You
it's
guys,
a pretty open
you
world
guys,
game. You can just kind of make your own fun. It was fun. Yeah.
yeah. It seemed like you just guys got into like the whole aspect of just how would I
Fucking
say
around.
that? Yeah,
Wait, can
basically.
I swear? Is that okay?
No, you cannot swear.
Jonborg said this is a rated R podcast. So anything goes.
Okay.
As we were talking about Israel and Palestine, the first thing that comes up. So
Mm.
I think
Nice.
after that, anything's fair game.
I mean, we're already banned in China, so
True.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't even know if that is because we're not big, right? So we wouldn't be noticed.
Oh no,
yet.
we're banned in
We're
China.
banned in China.
We talked about the glorious tank man who survived.
Wait, the Tank Man?
Yeah, I think isn't that like
Yeah.
Tiananmen
Tiananmen
Square?
Square.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
It's-
Tank man.
right.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
Oh, they love us.
I was like,
Oh
wait.
yeah, Taiwan's a country, all that stuff. It was great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
apparently,
favorite
and then also that was because of Fast and the Furious 9 or whatnot. And apparently it did terrible in China.
Oh,
No way.
right. This is how we got on the topic. It was John Cena learning Chinese or something, and then Cam was telling us about why he learned Chinese. It's just, I think, to sell the movie, I guess.
Oh no, I saw a Twitter post about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Did you play Sea of Thieves when it was? I think it was as an Xbox Game Pass. It became like one of the most popular games. I think just because of whether I think Game Pass is like you pay $15, you get all the games or whatever for the month, like you're renting them or rental service subscription, I guess. And then
No,
I saw a
I
bunch of
played
people
it
playing.
in summer 2018, I think. So I
Okay,
think
so
it was
before
before
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just the summer before I went to university. So didn't have as much time to play games in university, but it.
Well, you did have enough time. You just
Well,
chose to
I
allocate
just
your
chose
time
to
more
do
wisely.
more or less. After first year, you start to
My
learn what to
MMR
do.
in Dota peaked during university, so that tells you the amount of time I was playing
Yeah.
before and after definitely went up during university. Not the
Yeah.
wisest decision, but
But
it
hey,
did
at
reach
least your
top
MMR peaked.
1,000.
There
Yep,
you go.
top 1,000.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got a couple other friends into it, and they were relatively active, sort of, or psyched to continue playing it. So, yeah, I don't know. Less into it now, but still pretty fun.
But I definitely have to say something about a game not being fun anymore, though.
Uh-oh, what game, Jonborg? Give us a hot take.
League of Legends.
Okay,
I called it.
I'm not going to say it, but anybody who plays League of Legends, okay, this might be too harsh. I'm just going to say they don't know what a good thing is when they see it. But League of
Mhm.
Legends, the first 5 years, if you played it during the first 5 years, I can be at least convinced that, like, okay, you saw an advertisement or all of your friends are playing, so you started playing. But, like, there has been no excuse to play that game for over 10 years. There are so many, if you like MOBAs, there's so many better MOBAs. The only reason is this, like, toxic cycle of, like, my friend has this game, so I'm going to play with my friend. And the only reason it's enjoyable is because you're playing with your friend. But if both of you had, like, any ounce of brain activity, you could see that playing another game with your friend that is actually a good game would be so much more fun.
Like
Exactly.
like Divinity Original
Dota.
Sin.
I'm not gonna. Okay, Dota, you gotta play like 1,500 hours to even play a game. But if you're
I
gonna
tried.
look for a MOBA that's rewarding, for sure, I would take it over League any day. I think I played 1,500 wins in League, and I have about 5,000 hours in Dota. So I played about equal amounts, but like, of course, I played Dota last because I realized that I don't like releasing a new character and then him being the best character for 5 weeks and then rinse repeat the
Oh
cycle
my
for
God.
10 years and make a bunch of money.
That's what broke Overwatch for me, too.
That's what broke Overwatch and League for me, honestly. They just start. I mean, I lasted longer on Overwatch, honestly, probably because it was newer. But yeah, League was hard. I think I played it for 4 or maybe 5 years. The latter 2 or 3, I don't think I ever played a single game solo, because I was totally attached to the idea that like, yes, this game is only fun with friends. Like the experience playing with friends is, and I don't even care if we win or lose. It's just kind of killing time. But then
and I think
it just became.
It's a smart marketing thing because like every game, right? Like nowadays, the big hype is like you sponsor a bunch of streamers or you sponsor a bunch of ad space to put on the internet. You release your game, you get a bunch of people to play it because you have to get into the player base and you have to get your friends to get your other friends to play. Because if you don't do that, your game will die immediately. Unless it's like a single player or kind of like not meant to be replayed over and over. I'd say like Rocket League, if I didn't have friends playing it, could I have started and played Rocket League? I don't think I would have gotten into it. Because the first like 100 hours of Rocket League, you can't do anything. I mean, I'm an avid gamer. I'm not like super goated or anything, but like you won't be able to score the ball for like a long time. You just can't fly. You see people flying in the air. You're like, oh, that should be easy. No, it's not. You see people driving around, flipping around, hitting the ball. It's not easy. And so like in order to get past that first jump, you have to play with your friends. And if you don't have friends in your new game, it's not a recipe to have fun.
Yeah, going back to Sea of Thieves, actually, I think I don't remember playing it by myself actually from the get-go. It was always a social thing almost. But I think with that kind of game, it's like,
that's the point.
Well, would it be like in real life? Would it be fun to sail the seas by yourself or with a couple other folks?
Aye, lad.
It's obviously a heck of a lot less lonely.
I mean, it might be less
in the open world.
If you have some reefers on your team, I'd rather not have my ship get sunk.
I can just imagine someone sailing like a small dinghy, and he's like, "It be me, me, myself, and I."
I will say that for Sea of Thieves, friend of mine, Tom, is incredibly aggressive when it comes to PvP in that game. He sees a boat and it's like, all right, fuck the quest we're on. We're going after these guys.
So forgive me, but fill me in. I have no idea what Sea of Thieves is.
Okay. What? It's the
very
pirate
easy.
game, Ethan.
It's
the only good pirate game.
It's an open world pirate game, basically.
All right.
And you can go around and dig up treasure, fight skeletons, do merchant quests, bringing
role
merchant goods around.
Right.
And
so there is like a main quest or.
There's a bit of a storyline. There's a bunch of they call them tall tales, and they kind of follow like there's I think 9 or 10, and you eventually go to this new part of the map in the last quest, and you sort of so there's a bit of a story, but it's very loose, and so you really kind of etch out your own experience.
Have you played The Division, Ethan? But Tom Clancy's Division came out like I don't know 8 years ago, something like that.
I have not.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's a very similar game design where like everything's online and you're like competing for loot online and you encounter other people. Of course, The Division is like a first-person shooter, so you're shooting people, whereas Sea of Thieves is like you're a pirate.
Wait, I thought The Division was a third-person shooter.
Division? I don't believe so.
I'm gonna fact check.
Fact check.
I remember Taylor playing The Division. It was the one that E3 was like, oh, this looks amazing, and then like you get into the game and everything's buggy. Which actually, now that I say that, might not narrow it down.
No, that's like every game these days.
So there's The Division and The Division 2, I think.
Yeah,
so
it's third person.
Is it third?
Yep, action genre.
Okay, it's like Gears of War. I would call that first person, but I guess technically it is third person.
It's over the shoulder shooter.
Right. Yeah, like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Although Mass Effect's more like a role-playing game.
Yeah, but just for the perspective. Of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Over the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can peek around corners when you really shouldn't be able to see around corners.
Right.
Yeah.
That reminds me of everyone would play third person in Star Wars Battlefront, like the EA version, because of that. You could see
version.
you could see over the corners and stuff.
Oh yes, I remember that. You'd look at the battlefield and you would see nobody, and then as soon as you step around the corner, everybody would peek around the corner and shoot you. I remember. I think it was it Xbox 360? When did I play this? Oh, it would have been so long ago.
Wait, the original.
Wait, are you talking about the original? I'm talking about the EA one.
Well, yeah.
Original
it must have
Battlefront
been
1 and 2
original.
were so good.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Battlefront 2, I think, is what I played. I remember playing with my brother. You like get enough kills that you get like to call in your Jedi or whatever, and you
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I was looking back on it, there had to have been bots because some people were so bad.
Well, oh yeah, there are players, and I don't think that was that game online. I think it had a little bit of online, but mostly you're just going against the computer.
I just played split screen with a couple of friends.
Yeah. Good.
That was really good though.
That's another
Let's
thing.
see. PS2.
There was Battlefront 1 and 2, and like 2 had like the heroes, right? So that was cool.
Yeah,
but 1 was just let's just say the original was like so classic. I think.
Yeah,
like, it had some of the
really
better
good game.
maps.
It was multiplayer, Jonborgva.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Also,
Oh.
they do classify it as a first-person shooter and third-person shooter.
But you can switch though. You
Yeah.
can switch
Ah.
between.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why they classify it as first-person.
I mean,
That would
I
make
always
sense.
felt third person felt more natural, but I think that was kind of the default.
Yeah. Third person was default. Yeah.
And then EA, of course. Wait,
made-
was the original might not have been EA? That's why.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Pandemic.
It all makes sense now.
That's
Now
what.
we're
EA
in a
loot
pandemic,
boxes.
of course.
No, did you know
dots are
that they were supposed to make a third game, but it was canceled when they closed down LucasArts when George Lucas sold it to Disney.
When George Lucas joined the Illuminati, you mean?
Wasn't that just like a few years ago that happened?
He sold it.
LucasArts?
He sold it.
Nah.
He sold Disney when we were still in high school. So
Was it
I
that
I
long
was
ago?
gonna say,
Yeah, it's
Matriarch
been-
did a marketing Monday on it, and I remember him saying it was like the best trade deal in like a long time. Because they didn't buy it for very much, and they made like 100x really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
but the
George
quality just went down.
and then George Lucas said something about like white slavery.
What?
Yikes.
No, yeah, he said that because he's like, it's my children. They ruined my children.
Wait.
He's like, well, you shouldn't have sold it then.
I mean, true, but
But also money though, so I guess there's that.
well, I think it's also at some point where like you have an IP, right? And you almost just want to see what it like. You want to see what can be done without you as sort of the masthead or whatever, and B,
Yeah.
you're just too fed up with it. You're getting old or whatever. You just want to try something different, right? So,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
It's like poking it with a stick, and it's like, do something.
yeah. Well, he wasn't like. I mean, he tried to do the prequels. He tried to do something different there, and that I think the fans really dejected him kind of for that. So he was kind of, I don't really want to do something for myself. So maybe maybe
Yeah,
the Disney folks can make it better, and they made it worse. Which I mean, it was
it worked out
good
for
for
him
the
and
prequel. I mean, makes his prequels look better.
well, it also doesn't help like the climate we're in. Like, when I say climate, I mean like the political kind of stuff that is being pushed these days and whatnot, and the fact that there's a lack of creativity and that they had no plan with what they were with the series. Like, they didn't write it out or anything. They just went with the flow and like, okay, how about we do this and let's do that.
Well, he switched like directors in each film, right? Or I guess J.J. Abrams came back for the last one, I think, right?
Well, yeah, because he's basically like told to like fix it.
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck it, we gotta get JJ back in." I remember initially I saw episode 7, and I was like, "Okay, that was kind of like A New Hope, but it wasn't terrible." I didn't think it was terrible, at least, right?
Well, I mean, it was enjoyable if you turn your brain off.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for a lot of Star Wars films, though, that's kind of what it is. There's not. I don't think there's incredible storytelling there.
If you turn your brain off, then you wouldn't see it.
No, Troy.
Yep.
That's not what I'm talking. You're not getting the metaphor.
This is a classic Jonborg saying, "If you're listening to this." What would you? I can't remember what you said. It was funny though.
First episode.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's
no. For those movies, I've definitely had friends say to me that, visually, like, they're fantastic. Visually, it is great. Story-wise, not so much. But is it fun to watch? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place for those kinds of films, like, the Avengers and that sort of thing, right?
Exactly. That's kind of what it, pulled from. Adding in things to, like, I don't know what those penguin-looking things were, but they were there, and they stole a lot of stuffies.
Oh, yeah, those things. Yeah.
Speaking about bad movies, did you hear about that they're making a Powerpuff Girls live action?
You call that a bad movie right off the bat?
No, someone leaked the script. And
nice. Are we gonna do some role play? What's going on here?
Shoddy, is it Spice? What are their names?
No.
Okay, so I'll post this Twitter thread in the
Buttercup. I'm Buttercup. Green 1OP.
Green 1OP. Oh, dang.
Wait, wouldn't we just get copyrighted for reading this?
Has it been released yet?
Yeah, basically, they say some pretty cringy things, like,
oh, it's like an adult version.
Yeah. Almost.
Wait, are we sure this is
Why?
I'm looking at the source. I'm going on a deep dive because this seems like some big meme troller. There's no way.
No, there's no way. It seems just so like.
There's no way they leaked this.
What?
Well,
how do you?
Did you just post like a porn script? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. That's upper echelon gaming.
This person, we can't call this reputable.
Okay, people are saying it's fake. I hope it is.
I'm gonna go get some water.
It took me all of 5 seconds to think it was fake. All right, let me do some more research. Powerpuff Girl live action.
I mean, I hope it's fake.
At the same time, I hope it's real for the memes.
Oh, it would be so cringy.
Oh, it would be so funny.
Like, it would be one of those movies you would go to see just because it's so bad.
I believe it's happening. However, I don't believe that's the script. That's the takeaway that I've got.
Yeah. Well, we won't know until it is made. But like, okay,
we will know that's not the script. But I guess there is a possibility that is the script, and they got it right. But I really doubt it.
What's funny is there's a line that says, "Why? 'Cause she's the one who killed Mojo. I mean, move on.org."
Well, spoilers. No,
Wait.
MoveOn.org.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, it is going to be a movie about grown-up Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, but they're not doing grown-up things like this script
No.
entails.
Yeah. So the
Hopefully.
Powerpuff Girls in their 20s resent having lost their childhood to crime fighting. Will they agree to reunite now that the world needs them more than ever? Oh, huh?
Not
It's the
me.
aged fan base, right?
Alright.
Also, I'm gonna put it out there. The little descriptor for like the scene setting or whatever, where they say they've just air quotes finished.
Oh yeah.
I am gonna
Yeah,
point
that's
out
a little.
this doesn't seem like what they would actually write for the setting.
Well,
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
say it's
know.
not professional enough.
I
but
don't
think
know.
it's
Have you
professional enough.
the people in California I'm sure are, Californian.
Jonborgva,
They
Yes,
are.
indeed.
xenophobic Jonborg over there?
The floor here is made of floor.
The floor here is made of floor. The ice is made out of water.
Or is water made out of ice?
We'll not know. I mean, we won't know until the movie is made or released, and then we'll figure out if the script's real or not. But I did.
Peru, I'll be on the edge of my seat to make sure that this isn't the real script.
I mean, I'm not going to see it, so.
I'll see
You'll
it
just
for you,
have to see what
Jonborg.
Twitter says
I'll
about it.
brave the possible NSFW Powerpuff Girls movie for you.
It does read like a porn script.
This is so fake. It's not even. I don't even know.
But someone apparently got copyrighted for posting it, so that's what people think it's real.
That sounds like somebody trying to enhance the credibility of the document by saying, "Look at this document I made. I got copyright strike for saying."
Yeah, that's unfortunate about the thing about the internet is you won't know if things are real or not unless
Until you get some high quality journals to report on it. Unlike upper echelon gaming.
well, I mean, there's other pretty bad journalists out there too. I don't follow upper echelon gaming, so I mean,
Here's your pro tip that I learned in science. Whenever anybody asks a question, the answer is always no. So, for example, you see like the ab belt will say like, yeah.
Hey Troy,
Is this too good to be true? And it's like, well, the answer is no. It's not too good to be true. Does this pill magically burn fat? The answer is no. Or anytime you got a testimonial for any of those products, they're all paid actors. True. And then also, so in this tweet, it says someone apparently, if they're not willing to tell you who it is, you don't believe them. So unless they cite their source, hey, we got it from Celebrity News Network or whatever it is. I don't even know.
True, and
then you don't believe them.
And Twitter is really bad at spreading misinformation.
It's true.
Because like one person sees it, right, and then they retweet it, and then 2 more people will see it and be like,
"That's why you
is
gotta
this
do
real?"
Your due diligence
And then they retweet it,
truth-seeking,
and then they retweet it, and then it's just an endless cycle until everyone believes it's true.
True. That's why you got fact checkers, independent fact checkers.
But as you were saying about science, say that they will always say no. I have a fast one for you. Are we alive?
Oh, here we go.
Jonborg, you missed them. I'm saying whenever you like hear somebody trying to sell you something, if they make a question, like a claim, they ask you a question.
How do we get to existentialism?
Yeah, no, we're not going down the philosophical point, but it's like if somebody's trying to tell you something or sell you something, sorry, and they ask you a question, the answer to that question is always no.
Right.
So like they'll say something about their product, but they'll finish it with a question rather than stating it. Is this like, so if you watch the History Channel, is this the mark of aliens on Earth? No, the answer is no. Or like, does this product really save you that much time? No, it does not save you that much time, right? They'll always ask you questions, and the answer is always no.
Yeah, I hate false marketing, and you know what I
Yep, you
hate?
gotta-
Is there a
gotta get
point to
your
all
wits.
this? No.
Is there a point to this podcast?
Back to
No.
I was just gonna say, back
Yeah,
to the
but you're not trying to
existentialist.
sell us something. Because the rules don't work for people
Will
not
you
selling.
will you enjoy this podcast?
That's for the viewers, for the listeners to decide.
If there are any
If you're out there.
listening to this podcast, why aren't you listening to it?
Yeah. It's a good one.
Oh, and I'm actually going to have a question. Since we are called Potato Garden Podcast, what is one plant you guys all want to plant? Like, look after.
Ooh. I got one on the top of my head if nobody else is ready.
Okay.
Go for it.
Go.
So I believe it's called pineapple sage. I was over at my aunt's house helping her garden. She had some surgery, so she can do most stuff. She's healing well. But while I was over there, my mom pointed out there's this plant. It's sage, but it's pineapple sage. And you grab the leaf and you like break the leaf so like the aromatics come out, and it smells exactly like pineapple. And so apparently you can put the leaves in tea or like make a dessert with it, something like that. And so it smelled like the good part of a pineapple.
You
like
mean like the fruit?
well, okay. So when you like smell pineapple, it smells good. But then when you eat it, it tastes different. I don't know how to describe this. Maybe it's just my
It's
brain,
different.
but it
It's
smelled
sour?
like well, it was just like without all the bad notes, I guess.
Well, I guess
I don't know how to
everyone's
describe it.
tastes are different, so I mean.
I
Yeah.
think when you taste it, you fully get like the true smell, I guess. It just smelled very pineapple-y, like the good part of the pineapple. I don't know how to describe. I'm not gonna make any more sense. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
No, it sounds cool actually. It's like a
Like-
it's like a leaf, or it's like a mint leaf sort of thing, but it's like
Yeah, so it
pineapple,
just
right?
looks exactly like sage, or very similar to
Mhm.
mint. And then
Huh.
it releases the oils or whatever. But what I'm
That's
trying
cool.
to say in terms of the smell is that like, so while you might smell garlic cookie, and you'd be like, oh, that's a really nice smell. When you eat the garlic and you
Bleh.
smell it, you might get a different
Vibe.
spectrum of smells. So when I love the smell of garlic cookie, I do like the taste of garlic, but when I taste it and smell it at the same time, it is a bit different.
Yeah, the I don't know. My mom has a little garden, and I just kind of help her weed stuff out and whatever. I'm not really particularly creative when it comes to that.
That's
Um,
okay.
But
Going back
I don't
to
know. I
mint,
think
though,
planting berries would be nice.
berries is a good one.
Mhm.
I would go back to mint because mint is
Ah, yeah.
fantastic.
You could use it for so
Apparently-
much.
I think I think I could be wrong, but I do believe in the at the farm behind my house there is wild mint that just grows. I believe it's a weed here.
It is. It is. It grows
so-
like a weed. It kind of grows like ivy.
You kind of can't mess up if you want some mint, which is nice. Whereas I guess other places in the world you probably would have a harder time just growing it.
You could say the same about blackberry.
True,
True.
but blackberries are amazing, and you don't
Blackberries
have to
are
pay
awesome.
$30 for a small like 500-gram carton or whatever. You get them free off the bush.
I got
Really?
raspberries that are like invading my lawn because they would
Raspberries, Jonborgva started a business. Raspberries
Yeah,
are also
actually.
super expensive.
like
Raspberries, are they considered runners or something like that?
what do you mean? Runners?
I think that's like the classification of plant they are.
Oh, I don't think raspberries
I'm-
would be runners.
I'm not-
Strawberries are runners for
I'm
sure.
not no, it's more like a yeah, strawberries are definitely a runner where they like spread by it's actually really cool how strawberries make new roots as they like bulge out. They bulge out into like a new leaf, right? And then that leaf or something just gets to the dirt, and then it just grows roots or something. I don't know how it. That's like a very simple explanation, but.
Raspberries are runners. I stand corrected.
Oh.
They are? Nice.
Strawberries are for sure. I know that. I know that. But raspberries, it does look like they call it. I don't know. One of the articles saying it's called a sucker. They have a rhizome, which is an underground stem that grows in like a big long line, and then from that line you get upshoots or new shoots. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening underneath the garden.
Jonborg, start a business.
Yes, yeah. Jonborg, do not kill those baby raspberries. Any other plant they could be like out competing, just get rid of those plants. Keep the raspberries.
Yeah, but it's growing right into the lawn.
Jonborg,
Just
and
turn
put
that
them
part of the
will
lawn.
have to go.
Yeah, turn that part of the lawn into a garden bed. Put some boards up, raise that bed up, do whatever you have to do to protect them.
It's okay. I already like clipped them up, and then I'm regrowing them.
God,
Business opportunity gone.
Dude, I got one.
It's very expensive.
Okay, so I
raspberries.
pulled them out, right? I pulled the roots out, right? And then I put the roots in a pot, and they're growing back. So.
Oh, so Jonborg, you're helping. You're propagating them even faster than their natural potential.
Yeah.
So he is a businessman.
Ah, all right.
Then I don't have to, and then I can make raspberry milkshakes.
It's true. You could make many things with raspberry. Raspberry sauce.
Raspberry
raspberries?
pie.
Oh, raspberries. It's raspberry
Raspberry pie. What have we made out of money, Jonborg?
I'm not.
Raspberry pie.
Jonborg over there just eating pure raspberry gold. You need like 2.5 cups of
Johnny
fruit for a pie.
circuit
2.5
boards
cups
out
of
here.
raspberries. That's like $15.
Well, I'm
That's
gonna be
what I
picking them soon. They're still developing, so yeah. Oh, though I do wonder what spice, like if I mixed raspberries with like a pepper. Wonder what that would taste like.
I'm
Wait.
opening up a Microsoft Excel document from the U.S. government on the average retail price of raspberries per pound.
You're opening up an Excel
so-
document?
I don't know. It was the first link on Google.
Wait,
and I
and
started
I'm gonna
downloading
sell
the
raspberries at half the price.
Okay, so fresh, the average retail price, this is in U.S. dollars, is $6.88 per pound,
Which is
and then frozen is $5 per pound. We'll call it. And so that's the size equivalent of a cup. So per cup is a third of a pound. So per cup price, it's $2 per cup. That sounds. It's U.S. dollars. So it's about $3 a cup. So your raspberry pie that's 2.5 cups is about $8 of raspberries in there, Jonborg.
nice.
That's really good.
Fun fact.
Well, if you want
I like that.
raspberries, just buy it off me.
That would be the way.
You have
We
to
gotta
put
see
some
what
like
kind.
exotic
Hopefully they're good.
label on them.
Oh,
so
I've
you can charge
they've
higher
been
than the,
here. I had a lot last year.
Oh, so they're domestic.
Exactly,
they
you have
escaped from your garden.
reputation.
And well, the thing is, I ended up cutting one of the bushes down because it was just right in the middle, and it was like taking away a lot of the space in the garden. So
Did some pruning.
I had to move it.
You did some gardening. Yep.
Yeah, soiled and toil and boil.
I don't know if boiling is part of the garden repertoire, Jonborg.
Unless you want to kill weeds.
How do I get rid of the weeds in my backyard? Just boil them.
I don't know, man. A roofing torch does the job.
It's like a water sprinkler, but it's just boiling water. It shoots onto the weed.
That seems
Nice.
like something that would be like in a dungeon or something. As like a torture.
Yeah, it would be. That'd be very scary.
Dude, you know how waterboarding is, where they just like put a bag over your head and then pour water on it, right?
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
drown you and revive you and drown you and revive you.
Now just imagine that with boiling water.
Oh no.
That would be
Yeah, no thanks.
that would be painful.
I feel like boiling water might kill you first, though, and I think the whole point is that you torture them so they never actually die.
Well, how would it kill you?
You can die from burns pretty quick.
You can die from
shock.
pain. Okay.
Well, yeah, if you receive enough pain, you might even pass out, right?
Right.
Yes.
Huh.
I think a strong enough shock can kill you though.
I'm not exact. I can't be completely sure of like why burns kill you, but I believe it's from the pain.
It's probably to do with the cell death of the skin.
Yeah, probably cell.
Yeah, but
cell
you'd
destruction.
have to,
Your body, your
you'd
immune
have to
system
get
or something
infected.
just freaks out and just attacks your body or something.
I think you'd have to get infected from a burn, because you can deal with not having that much skin on you. You can't deal with that much pain, though. And then certainly, if you don't have skin, any bacteria just floats around.
I'm just picturing someone with the no skin is just that muscle skeleton.
Yeah, the muscle diagram god. Yeah, that would be well, actually, yeah, you would look similar to that.
Hey Troy, do you have any more questions or any questions for Oscar or?
I do.
Okay.
A lot of them are video game / media related. I hope that's okay. None of them are weeb related unless you choose to make them weeb related.
Alright, I'll somehow bend it.
I was curious what your favorite single player game is, and so I would say single player being like you could have a multiplayer mode, but like the
It's
base
like
game
co-op
is
single
single.
player. Yeah.
So like Halo, I would say is probably not a single player game, but if you played it single player, then sure.
What about games like Souls likes?
Souls like, so like favorite Dark Souls 1 to 3?
I just mean the
whole
the game type sort of.
Oh, the genre, yeah.
But that counts as a single player game.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's going to be one of those, right? Yeah, after stop playing like League and Overwatch, I've gotten a lot more into single player games just because it's like I can manage my time like outside I can fit in game moments rather than like try to fit in the rest of my life around when other people want to play games if I'm playing single player games, if that makes sense. That's a run-on sentence, but it's more flexible when you play single player games. I've gotten more into them.
For sure. You can pause and save at any moment.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about a game going over 40 minutes.
Exactly.
Don't have to worry about being held hostage in a MOBA game for an hour and a half only to have a teammate throw and like rage at you.
Let me out!
Come towards you.
And it just keeps repeating, right? You just like
die.
You're not gonna never have that again, right? And it's just a waste of time and sanity, really. Anyways, yeah, I played Sekiro last the summer after it was released. I think it was summer 2019. And I really liked that. That was my first From Software game. Hard, yeah, but I found I really liked the challenge of it. And then last summer played Dark Souls 3, 1, and then 2. I haven't finished 2. But I don't know. My favorite would have to be out of Sekiro, Dark Souls Remastered, and Dark Souls 3. They're all just so different, you know. Have you played any of the? Has anyone else played any of the games? Can attest to that?
Oh yeah. I haven't played Sekiro yet. I plan
It's really nice.
but 1, 2, and 3 I have played, as well as Demon's Souls I've played. Out of those Souls games, I would say, for story and challenge, Dark Souls 2 is fantastic. It's just at a different pace from everything else that the game series offers. It's just a slower pace, a lot more patient combat styling. When you get to Dark Souls 3, obviously you can, quick combat is kind of
Yeah,
the name
very
of the game there.
Bloodborne-esque.
Wait, which one?
Exactly.
Wait, which one came after? Did Dark Souls 3 come after Bloodborne?
Yeah.
That's probably why it was fast paced.
I mean, yeah, it probably was like, hey, this combat system's working.
Let's do it
It was
again.
the same development team that worked on Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It was a different team worked on Dark Souls 2 at the time.
Yeah.
I
However, I would say playing with friends and like even playing alone, Dark Souls 3 is probably the best just for gameplay.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good starting point for like new players.
Yeah.
It's
I'd agree with that actually.
easy to pick
That's
up.
the first one that I went to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played Dark
And-
Souls 3 and
Mhm.
only 3. I will say I could actually follow along, which I was aware that everything was like really difficult and that I wasn't starting at like Dark Souls 1, so I wasn't going to get super detailed lore, like it wouldn't all make sense to me or matter to me. But it was very fun. However, I will have to say I had a very negative first experience of the game. I joined and then I guess like I don't quite remember how it works. You like burn an ember and then you can join your friends
you
or
summon,
whatever.
you get
Mhm.
summoned in, yeah.
Yeah, and so Ethan and Cam summoned me in, or I got
Yep.
summoned them in, and then there was like a level 0 guy, and he was invading us, and I was like, okay, whatever. And so they're like, this is the combat, this is how you're gonna do this and that and whatever. Turns out this guy was just like invincible,
He was
invulnerable,
a
or whatever.
hacker.
So like I backstabbed him, stuck my sword through him, and then pulled it back out. And then I was like, oh nice, and like I was like, oh okay, well, whatever, I'll do it again. So I did it again, and then like he had no health, and he was just not dying. And I was like, okay, it must be like laggy or something. He's probably dead. And then he turns around, he whacks me, and I take damage. And I was like, wait, what? And so like, yeah, from that point I was
Yeah.
like, oh, so it's online. This is just like, this is the experience. Like everybody's hacking. Turns out that wasn't the case. However, I was reluctant to play the game for a little bit after that because it was just not like
Yeah.
he wouldn't leave us alone, and I wanted to like play with my friends so I could learn kind of how to play. But yeah, turns out I think I just played like a few days later and everything was fine. But
Yeah.
Was he
It's,
stalking you?
I have had that happen.
Really?
Yeah. I have had that happen. There is actually I think he's still in my friends list. Or he might be blocked. I'm not sure. There is an invader. Well, so to give this context, Cam and Quinn, two other friends of ours, and myself, played through Dark Souls 3 multiple times. And first time through, it was really fun. We did kind of whatever we wanted to do. We had like a general theme that we went along, so all of us were like, we looked like goblins and we had goblin names. So I was Pungent Goblin. We had Big Boss Goblin, and then we had Handsome Goblin.
Nice.
And we all had kind of different builds. I was a like very glass cannon-y, super, super heavy weapon, but I could still roll around, like light roll around. Quinn was magic build. Cam was a quality build. And then that was fun. And then we played through it again, and we all had the same name. We made new characters. And we all had the same name of Clever Girl, kind of in reference to Jurassic Park when they call the raptors clever girls.
Mhm.
So we were all this like as raptor looking as you could try to get a Dark Souls 3 character to look.
Oh no.
And we all looked the same. We all used different claw weapons. So there was the mankin claws, the regular claws, and the crow talons. So we used all different ones of those, and we were only restricted to those weapons. So we had the obscuring ring on, and we had what was it? Like the Quiet Footsteps one on. I don't know what that one is called. But we had those on, and we were invaded by a few people, and so we just hid, and we started, dropping hello stones and calling out, "Hey,
Hello."
Different, yeah, exactly, just like different areas around the map, just trying to confuse them, and then we just gank them. And they would get mad, and they would, sometimes they would invade us again, and they would happen again. We killed them, and then a few days, or I got Quinn and I got a friend request through Steam, and we're like, who is this guy? So we click on his profile. Oh, he's playing Dark Souls 3 right now. Could this be the guy? And a couple of days after that, whenever we booted up the game, I noticed that he would also boot up the game.
Oh no.
And we're like, hold on. And so he was definitely trying to get us. It was great.
I was
I
playing
think the best game. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
just basically, I was gonna quickly say my experience with Dark Souls 3, where I played it. I played it on the PS4 with a buddy, and there was one time where we were just like chilling in the swamp area, and then we just kept bowing at this person who joined us, back and forth.
Joined or invaded?
Yeah, invaded us.
Yeah.
And then another time I guess we invaded somehow. I don't know how we got there, but basically it was in that area where those snipers are, the big
Anor Londo.
Yeah, Anor Londo. We got to the point where there's like a little cliff, and then we all did the star spread, so it looked like all our legs were off the cliff in a line.
Oh, very good. Yeah, memeing in that game's fantastic.
It really is.
A really good way of gaining souls is to do the bonfire right after Pontiff Sullivan and run a fight club. Like Cam and I, we would do this quite often. Cam would summon me to his world. I would bring in my super overpowered OP character, like New Game 7+ character, and I would just stand there in the middle. We would kill all the giants, kill all the purple people up top, and we would just stand in the middle, wait for
invaders.
We would hit the dried finger, which resets the invasion timer, as well as we would either put on one of us would put on the Way of Blue, so that is it the Way of Blue?
It's
Blue
one
Sentinels.
it's one of the
two that would
Covenant.
summon.
Way of Blue is the
summon.
Summon Blues, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Way of Blue, we would summon a person on our side, and then we would hit the dried finger, and we would get, the Aldrich Faithful, whatever they're called. And then just regular invader, and then a Mad Spirit. So I think the max you can have in a single lobby is 6 people, and we would just keep doing it, and Cam would sit in the back, just be like AFK, and then we would just kind of run a fight club, all right, we just point at someone and point at another person, and then they would bow at each other, and then they just fight.
Yeah.
They die, okay, cool, I'll go in now, and then fight someone, and then it went on. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was fun.
That's something you don't usually hear. That's neat.
Running a fight club, it's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, it's really it's difficult to get it started because some people just don't want to meme around.
Yeah,
Which
they
is
won't listen.
unfortunate.
There'll all be
They
those.
ruin it.
They'll be like, "No, screw you! I'm gonna kill you."
And somehow it's
Yes,
always the
me.
blue.
Yeah, kind of. No, it
Yeah.
was funny because if that would happen, I would pull out the cheesiest weapons, like the dual great swords.
Oh, yeah,
if
pugs.
someone were to pull up with what's that? What's the great sword that has the small curved dagger with it?
Oh, the,
Or
Baron.
you mean the?
Baron great sword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So the Farron great sword, another very
breakdancing one.
easy weapon, because it's a roll catcher, and it's just relentless.
That's the one you get
Relentless.
from the Abyss Watchers, right?
Yes. Or well, they have the weapon. Yeah. So yeah, you get the fair greatsword. They would come up, roll up into like a duel, and you're like, no, get like a fair weapon. And if they wouldn't change, you just pull out the dual greatswords and pummel them.
Yeah.
However,
You just poise up with a greatsword or something.
Oh yeah, I would throw on Havel's armor. I would do everything. Just throw up Havel's armor and just have these dual greatswords. On that build, I think it's vitality is a stat.
Yeah.
My vitality was so high that with Havel's armor, I was still able to do a regular roll.
Nice.
And it's just like
Apples and the paired ultra greatswords.
yeah.
Wow.
Um,
My favorite
another-
ultra greatsword's like the profaned greatsword. I love
Profane
that one.
greatsword is real fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the funnest weapon to fight someone with has to be the dual doors.
Oh no.
my god. They're
It's-
toxic. They're so toxic. What
It's
the heck?
so funny. It's just the best. If someone wants to cheese, go ahead, bud. I'll just pull out the doors. It's
What
just
about the
catch 'em.
dual swords from that DLC?
I don't think
the-
you can break through the doors.
You really can't. Like they have hyper armor as well as they have they add a ton of poise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The dual great swords, John, is what is from that DLC as well. Like
yeah.
the big flaming.
Yeah, the big flaming ones.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, they are just incredibly broken.
Yeah, it's so fun.
You just
The only counter to it is fire because that's the only thing that can tick through the shield.
Oh, I thought you meant the fire greatsword. The only
No,
thing to
no,
break
for
through the
the-
guard for the fire greatsword is fire.
No, the only weakness that the doors have
Is fire.
is fire. Yeah, because they're weak against fire, and it's just, I mean, if you have a naked pyromancer man, you know you're gonna get screwed over.
Troy.
Yeah, 3 is really fun.
Yeah, I would say getting back to the point after the super long rant.
Yeah.
3, super fun to play with friends, super fun to play alone because the combat style and like gameplay is really fun. However, story-wise, if you want to, follow along with the story and have a
Watch
little
Batty
bit slower
vids.
paced, yeah, have a little bit slower paced game, then Dark Souls 2 I would recommend is real fun.
Okay.
I was gonna say 1 from those standpoints. I'd say the original I really appreciate for those points. Like
Right.
I think the world, the atmosphere, especially like the music as well, and of course the level design it's been said a billion times.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
by no means like perfect, and it's a lot more clunky, coming from Dark Souls 3 or what have you.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere in 1 and what I've played of Dark Souls 2 is really really something special. Yeah, it makes you think of like those old RPGs where you don't really have any clue what you're doing.
Yeah, you have to
but
talk
you
to
have to
everyone.
you have
Yeah.
to try to figure out your own place in the world, which for single player games,
They don't
I think
make
for single player games I like it if I can kind of sort of self insert myself a little bit. And so if you have like if you in real life have no clue what's happening in the game and your character has no clue, like it's sort of built into the storyline, right? You're trying to sort of discover your destiny. Then that's a really meaningful experience. And Dark Souls 3 is just so fast. It tries to take the slower concepts of Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1 and kind of apply it to that very different flavor that they tried to do with Bloodborne. And so I think it is very beginner friendly because a lot of I say beginner friendly, but like it's more friendly for the newbies to the Souls series because then you're not like, why can't I roll out of this or something? Like I feel like the other games are a lot more clunky, a lot more slower, right?
strategic.
Yeah,
And so there's less, let's say, freedom of movement and stuff. It feels less.
combat is a lot slower paced in the first two.
Yeah,
for sure.
because like when you take a swig from your what's it called?
Estus.
Estus
Yeah,
flask.
you're in place.
Yeah, you're stuck.
You can't move.
You gotta time it right.
You'll ever just walk while chugging to flex on people who play Dark Souls 1 or 2?
You know, it'd be funny if there was a mod or something where when you drink it, you end up just getting like a counter attack or something.
Oh yeah, you can follow up with something after it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you sip and then you just throw Estus in their face to blind
Yeah, it's
them.
like,
and you're
no!
"Ha-ha."
All right, Troy, do you have another question? I think that was a pretty good long question.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you had to recommend a game, to a person who's never played video games before, which one would you recommend? So basically, easiest to pick up.
Dark
and
Souls.
most fun to play.
Easiest to pick up and sorry,
And the most fun to play, I guess.
and most fun, and also kind of some replayability as well, right?
Well, maybe not, right? Like, if you get
Yeah.
somebody to pick up and play a game, like, I would say, in my mind, the one that comes to is very obvious is Undertale. This game is is very easy to play. WASD. You're moving around and like trying to dodge things, but that's not all too challenging. The game kind of plays itself, I would say. Like, you can't really go the wrong direction.
Well,
And then,
Right,
of
right.
course, the story's really immersive and the music is great. And then I would say it is fun combat. Some people might not love the combat, but I mean, if you're going from like Candy Crush on your iPhone or something to
A real man's game.
like
real
a game where you're trying to just dodge shapes
Yeah.
or whatever,
a
that's probably
bullet hell.
pretty good.
Mhm.
It's basically
Actually, I was gonna answer like Dark Souls or something like that, or just like Dark Souls 1, because I think that's a really it's kind of like the episode 4, you know, like Star Wars episode 4. I feel like is a complete story. That's why it's my favorite Star Wars, is because it's like you can go from the beginning, you know, A New Hope, right? You can go from the beginning to the end. They destroy the Death Star, right? And that's kind of a story. You almost don't need 5. You almost don't need the prequels, right? And I feel like with Dark Souls 1, there's enough, like, you know, you either link the fire or you don't link the fire. Either way, there's a cycle, and you can sort of repeat it, right? That's just the way the world works. So
I don't
from a
know if you could get many people to get through
yeah,
Dark
that's
Souls
true.
game.
Well, see, that was my first choice, and it does stand for like something that's a little bit more kind of like maybe in some ways
A challenge.
driven, yeah, and it's also a challenge. Otherwise, the safe option, I'd say, is just Minecraft. Like,
Oh no.
it seems kind of generic, but I think Minecraft has something for literally everyone, and I think it's just such a relaxing
I
game.
don't know. I can't.
I don't know.
I can't
I
get
spent a lot
behind
of time into
recommending
that.
somebody Minecraft. I don't know if I can get behind that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It comes to those two things. I haven't played tons of games, if I'm being frank, but I think I don't know. Minecraft
Well,
is definitely for the more creative people.
I think
people,
even
think.
if I were to say Valheim or Minecraft, if I were recommending a game to somebody who hasn't played any of them,
Indie game. Yeah.
I'd have a hard time recommending Minecraft over Valheim.
Yeah, Valheim is really good.
It's not fully developed and it's not done, but in
it's really
terms
good.
of like, there's a progression. The progression's really easy to follow. You can't really get overwhelmed. And you're kind of learning the environment as you go along. Whereas Minecraft, it seems like here's a bunch of these rules or things that exist. Unless you know about them, it'll be really hard to find out.
Mhm.
Whereas like Valheim, after playing 50 hours, getting to like the last biome, beating the last boss, maybe it might even be more than 50 hours to do that.
Mhm.
But after doing that, you have this sense of progression. You've learned a bunch of things. You now know how to build and play the game. Whereas Minecraft, I'm like, you can go defeat, is it the Ender Dragon? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You can defeat
Yeah.
that, but it's like, is that really the full gaming experience?
Well,
Yeah,
the,
there's no endpoint.
well, the point of Minecraft originally was just being a sandbox and create your, you know, house. Make the best thing you can, basically.
Yeah, which I mean, like, in terms of you might have somebody who hasn't played games before. They might love that, where they're like, oh, it's just kind of like art, and I can just do what I want to do, and
Yeah.
not do what I don't want to do.
Peaceful mode.
And be in like peaceful mode where nothing ever happens, there's no zombies or whatever. That might be fine for them, but in terms of like, they might need the coaxing where they're like, hey, here's the biome you got to get your iron ore, or here's the next biome you got to go to get your silver, or whatever. Whereas like, there's a certain progression, even though they're both kind of open world-ish crafting games. Valheim, I would suggest Valheim to somebody who hasn't played games before. Whereas Minecraft, I'd be like, ugh, I don't know. Some people might play it for a couple hours and then stop because there's nothing like they're supposed to be doing.
Honestly, that's all.
Valheim is a lot closer to like realism as well, like with the lighting and with the crafting and also with the building, right? It's a lot more. I guess it feels more
New?
grounded, whereas Minecraft is blocks, right? It's a lot more abstract. If you're someone who's coming from not playing video games, right? So, yeah, but both are good games. I'd say Valheim is more of a survival one, whereas Minecraft is more of like a creative building one.
Yeah, until you teach them to use the console command, and then your game's ruined because they're like, I don't really want to leave my base. Some of the other ones I thought about were like Ori and the Blind Forest, games like that. Though those ones could be kind of difficult. I'm not going to say they're nowhere near Dark Souls.
Undertale can be difficult too, Troy.
I would say no.
Well,
because all it like
what
it's
if
WASD, and in terms like you don't need that much reaction time. If you play the boss like 10 times, you'll get it.
Yeah, but what if they end up killing everyone?
Okay, if they manage to kill everybody and not spare anybody, and they get like the really, really hard sands fight or something, then sure, it could be hard. But that's probably that. Yeah, you'd have to try to do that. I'm pretty sure.
My mind went to the Mario games, like Super Mario Maker. Like that was something that was like, you know what? Someone new could probably get into that because there's sort of a sprinkle of everything.
Yep, it's 2D side scrollers certainly are like very easy to follow along. Oh, I ran into that piranha plant. I got hurt. Okay, don't do that.
I know what game to suggest because honestly, for the longest time, I was thinking I would know what game to suggest for this kind of question. But then I'm like, oh wait, Stardew Valley.
Sure, yeah. That one's also easy. It's like fairly transparent. I guess you would call it 2D, but it's like it's more top down. But
yeah,
that would be fun for sure. Some people might also get the kind of like I can't remember if Stardew has really good progression.
It does. What do you mean by like?
I can't remember if there's like a final boss or a final like project to complete.
Yes, there is stuff you can do. Like there is challenges, and you can, like you go. There's a thing where you go underground, and you just keep trying to get lower and lower. So,
yeah, that would be a good one. It certainly seems easily learnable. I think there's a couple of like if you were to play not a single player game, I think there's a lot of really like fun games like Super Smash Brothers. These games are notoriously easy to pick up, so much so that like you have people. If you ask somebody, "Oh, are you good at Smash Bros?" Somebody will say, "Oh yeah, I'm really good." Then you'll go play them, and you'd be like, "You are garbage." Not a human, you're not a garbage as a human, but like you are really bad at this game.
Bruh.
And like it's really funny because like everybody had played these games going through high school when I went through high school, and it was like, okay, everybody's played it. You would think like people would be very aware of how good they are, and then you play them. Similar to like we had the same experience in Halo. It's like, well, I'm really good at Call of Duty, I'm really good at Halo, and then you play them and go, okay, there's a big difference between I can beat on my little brother in Super Smash Bros. Compared to like, oh, I play against like I guess Uvik had a club, or like go to a local tournament or whatever and play.
Totally.
It's really funny because it's like it's so easy to get into, and you can play like a 5-year-old could play the game, right? Spam buttons, make sure you don't jump off the stage, press up B to get back. That's basically all you need to know.
I was a King DDD main like when I was 8 or something.
In Brawl, you're chain grabbing everybody.
I can't even remember what the technique was, but
if it was Brawl, it's just down throw dash and then down throw again, and
it was amazing.
You can chain grab basically every character to like 40% or something.
Huh.
I would play against my older brother.
I have grudgingly played that game at parties since then.
I have
Same.
an adapter, and I may or may not be able to play Super Smash Bros. Melee online. It's completely. I own a copy of the game. It's completely legal. Sort
You're
of.
gonna get arrested.
Yeah.
No,
I would highly recommend it. It's super easy to anybody who wants to play. It's a free game out there.
honestly,
It's an amazing game. It has perfect online connection. All you need is a GameCube controller, an adapter, and the internet, and you can run it on a potato. So
yeah.
I would
I
recommend
don't
it.
think emulation should be illegal, especially like for old games that aren't being sold anymore. That's
I would also
my
say
hot take.
that, but I don't think it's a hot take. I think you just have to convince the developers, which like Nintendo, how much money are you gonna lose from shutting down an old game versus like how much backlash might you get? I don't think you're.
Well, they
I
don't
think
make
it
they
would
don't
be
make
wise for a big
they don't
company
make
to do that.
the games anymore, so they're not making money off of it.
That is true, and in fact, actually, everybody who gets a new copy of the game is buying from like a reseller, right?
Yeah.
So they would be, if you somehow capitalized on like the consumer interest, right? Here's this really old Nintendo game. Hey, we're gonna make it free to play. You can play it. That might take away from their other sales, but that also might encourage them to like come over to their platform.
Well, I mean, look what they did with the 3D All Stars or whatnot.
Which one's that? Is that like the Olympics one or?
No, 3D All Stars is where they sold. I think it was Super Mario 64, and then Super Mario Sunshine, and then also Super Mario Galaxy in a bundle for a limited time for the Switch.
Ah,
Also, all 3 games very good, new person friendly.
Super Mario 64. I would say I haven't played the other. Oh, I have played Sunshine, but I had played Sunshine after Super Mario 64. I would say Super Mario 64 is quite difficult.
It
You
is, but it's also
certainly
quite
can
fun.
do it. But if you were a scrub and you got to Bowser,
You're
like Bowser
screwed.
2, it probably is Bowser 3 actually, or even like Rainbow Road. It's Rainbow Road, right? Carpet Ride, whatever the Carpet Ride one is.
I'm
That's
thinking
not
of
Rainbow Road,
I'm
that's
thinking
Super-
of the
That's Mario Kart.
Yeah. Hold on.
Whatever the Magic Carpet Ride at the end is.
Yeah,
Those levels are like, they are very tough. Even if you're good, and you know how the game works, they're still quite tough.
yeah.
But there are levels that are super easy, like Goomba's World or whatever. Run up to the top.
bomb. It's
beat
bomb
the bomb guy. Yeah. Yeah, super simple in terms of like movement. The level design, some of them are geared towards people who haven't played too many. I don't even know what you'd call them.
3D
Third
platform.
Yeah, 3D platformer, yeah, or third person platformer. Yeah, I think I played. My dad got a Nintendo. I was about like 4 or 5, and I would watch as a family. We would all play Super Mario 64.
Man.
Huh.
And that was my first introduction to, I would say, like a real game until StarCraft, I think, when I was like 9 or something. And then, of course, everything else was easy mode compared to StarCraft.
Interesting.
Speaking of which, Jonborg, played StarCraft 2 yet?
Not yet. I still have
Not
it.
yet?
I have it installed and everything. So.
You gotta train up. I gotta see you practice the ladder matches.
Oh no. All right. Do you have one more question, or are we gonna wrap up?
I have quite a few more, but I can always save them for next week.
You can do one more.
All right. I was gonna say, we'll call it underrated or favorite TV series, because, you could say like, oh, I like Game of Thrones before the last season. Sure, but like, maybe something that somebody hasn't heard of that is really good that they should watch.
Oh, okay.
Or it could be, I guess it could be a movie or it could be TV series, whatever you wanna
Quick
go with.
question. Does this include anime?
I'm gonna say, for the sake of those listening, no.
What?
All right. Well,
Well, hold on. Can we have 2 answers?
Oh, sure. You can have an anime answer and a non-anime answer.
all right,
There
very
you
good.
go. I got you.
Okay.
Oh no.
'Cause I haven't watched many actual TV series.
Well, it could be a movie series, I guess a series of movies, or just an individual movie.
Mhm.
But-
Oh, movie, not
Well, it could be both.
movie TV series. Mm.
Yeah.
Motion picture story.
All right. Yeah.
Like favorite or recommended sort of thing.
In terms of like something somebody probably hasn't seen before,
Ooh.
so it could be your favorite, or it could just be something like, hey, you should watch this. You probably haven't seen it.
Gosh, I have to think.
While you're thinking, I can just say for the movie, actually, oh dang, I forgot. No. Well,
Yeah.
I
will
can go. I can go.
I will
If you want.
suggest watching The Mandalorian.
Okay, okay.
And that's for the TV series, I guess. However you will watch it. I don't think it is on TV. It's only on Disney Plus at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, TV subscription, they're kind of intertwined.
I really liked Pedro Pascal. He's really talented.
Is that a movie or a?
Oh no, that's the actor in The Mandalorian.
Oh.
Yeah. He does a really good job in the movie. Or I mean the
I
series.
got one that I know all my friends know I love it. It's out called Amykyst I, and it's
Yeah.
in my mind it's a perfect balance of comedy, because the people who dub the show are really, really talented. Like, they must be comedians, or they have somebody who's really good at writing, and they're just talented voice actors. But basically the show is like, it's a Japanese game show, and in Japan they kind of did like, I would call it a mix between like Wipeout, which is I guess like an American spin-off of this show, and
that was before Wipeout was a thing.
it was. So Wipeout is kind of a spin-off of this show.
I remember watching that all the time.
Yeah, and so you do like little obstacles, and you like get to the end of the course, and people celebrate. And in the American one, they're playing for I believe it's money. I don't know what they're playing for in the Japanese one, because I don't understand Japanese, so all I get is the dubbed version. And in the dubbed version,
It's
they're doing all these
hilarious.
challenges, and the
Oh my God.
comedians will throw in like what the person's supposed to be saying, but it's never accurate.
Oh
So
no.
instead of like, hi mom, hi dad, it's like, I love underpants, and then it's like whatever, and they'll go do something. And so, of course, I'm not as creatively clever, and I can't come up with something witty or funny on the spot, but it is really good. I believe it's not. I don't think it has aired for a long, long time, but I would recommend watching at least some highlights or clips. It's certainly fun. Yeah.
I don't know. I still didn't come up with much.
Yeah, no, all right. I can go to if you'd like. I've got 2 answers. One for anime and one for like real life. For anime,
Real
both-
life.
both are movies. The one for anime is called Jinro, and
heard of that
it's an super old anime movie that basically it basically spawned like a wave of all the different stylings, like Killzone. You know
Oh
Killzone.
yeah, now I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Killzone, they have like the people in like the gas masks, like the soldiers in the gas masks. That's basically been, from what I understand, that has been basically taken from Jinro, this old
Like it was
anime
inspired.
movie. Yeah, exactly. It was inspired by this movie, and this movie has spawned like a bunch of different other inspirations from it. Um, it is really artistically interesting to watch. Might not be the most like story driven, or like you might not be super invested in the story, but artistically and just kind of, it's a really good watch if you haven't seen it, and if you're interested to see like, oh, this is where a lot of inspiration from, like, oh, this video game or this video game has come from. So Jinro is my answer for the anime side of things. And then my other answer is Old Boy.
Old Boy.
Yeah, Old Boy, and it is a fantastic, like, I don't even know. It's like a thriller mystery, and this one also inspired a ton of uh fight sequences inspired from it. So there's like in I think Netflix had Daredevil at one point. Um, they had like fight sequences inspired from Old Boy. Same with the Punisher series. They had fight sequences inspired from Old Boy. And that is another fantastic. I think it's Korean. Yeah, it's Korean. Um, it's a fantastic Korean movie. And you don't know, uh, if you don't know already, Korea has some really, really good movies.
Parasite.
Parasite's like the newest one that's been fantastic. There's also one called, I think it's
Train
called,
to Busan. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or not. I watched it. It was kind of scary, but
it's great.
it was good.
There's also one called New World, which is it's like a cop mystery thriller thing, which is great. But yeah, no, the Korean movies are very good.
Nice.
I do have another suggestion because I said the Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I do have another one for anime, and I definitely highly recommend Vinland Saga. It's
All
about
right. Give us the like opening scene. What's it about
Vikings.
in 5 sentences or less?
A boy's
Like-
father's killed by this guy Askeladd, and the boy takes he says that he's going to kill him, and he like follows this guy around.
So
and,
he's getting revenge.
yeah, he wants
It's a
to
story
take
of revenge.
he wants to take revenge on this guy, and
Very
he
good.
ends up just joining his mercenary band, and Askeladd's basically training him.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty good story, and
Anime Viking. Yeah, I mean, both fantastic stuff.
oh yeah.
I mean, arguable, but sure.
It's really well done, Troy. I think it'd be pretty easy for you to get into it.
Is the question is not it's do I want to get it, not if I could get it.
That's true.
I haven't seen any movies recently that I thought are like, wow, this has been really, really good. But I'm also not a movies person.
Yeah.
What? Not even Mr. Deemer's movie?
I did watch that movie. That would be one of the most recent movies I have watched.
The half
even
of
though
it?
that was like almost 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I've been watching a lot of Amazon Prime, and the TV series, one thing I've noticed that I really like is their use of like, I'd say like music or sound. It reminds me a lot of like Guardians of the Galaxy having like the really timely tracks played at moments where it's almost incorporated into the show that there is music going on.
To make it
Sorry, which show? Sorry.
It's all just the Amazon original series, like almost every
Oh,
show.
oh yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say that because I haven't seen. There's probably tons of Amazon originals, but so like The Boys or Invincible, American Gods, these shows, they're like, I would say they're classic rock songs, but like they're very, very fitting for the moment. Invincible, they had the Cage the Elephant song that plays at one point, and it's like,
Yeah.
it fits really, really well. And they probably, I would guess, animate the character around the song. And so, yeah, I've been enjoying that kind of aspect of it because I think it's very difficult for a lot of TV shows to have like the budget to sample like Aerosmith or like a classic song by like I'm blanking on classic songs, but like yeah,
Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it's a nice thing because like I haven't been too into the like subscription service like Netflix or that kind of stuff. But that was something I noticed. I was like, TV shows and movies are so much better when the soundtrack is good. It's actually, yeah, it's crazy.
Do you have your favorites, Oscar?
Maybe.
Oh.
Ooh, okay. A very good film is called okay, and good is very subjective on this one, so you probably just have to watch and see what you think. It's called Doctor Strangelove. And it's a have you seen this? Have you seen?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, no,
I'll
I know of it.
Let me see here. It's kind of a bleak comedy. Just got the Wikipedia page here. Wikipedia page, of course, not IMDb. Yeah, it's basically about the Cold War and sort of a misunderstanding leading to the end of the world.
Oh no.
But I thought it was a pretty well, it was made in the 60s, but I think it still kind of holds true today in some sixth sense. So there's that. Probably in terms of anime, I think one that I watched recently that's just very aesthetic is called Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
It's pretty
One
much
of my favorites.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much lo-fi, lo-fi samurai in the Meiji era, I think.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
And it's just, yeah, no, it's a totally different aesthetic.
Yeah, it's the same creators as Cowboy Bebop.
Exactly. So.
Yes, exactly.
Really,
Cowboy Bebop, a classic about a cowboy that eats a Korean breakfast food.
Ah, that one.
Oh no, I'm mistaking that with Cowboy Bebop.
That's what you will go down as in history as, Troy, the person who mistaken. Yeah.
Good one.
I had to troll you guys a little bit because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
No, I'd say I just thought of it on a dime, but I think Doctor Strangelove, not many people have seen much. So, yeah, for a movie. Yeah.
All right.
Those are
well,
two that are,
it's getting to that time. Do you want to plug your channel?
Yeah, sure. It's AMYKYST, Amykyst, or Amykyst, or however you want to pronounce it, on YouTube, I suppose. And how do I plug my Instagram? I don't even use social media anymore. Anyways, check out the YouTube channel because that's probably that's where a bunch of my videos that I've made, accidents,
Yeah.
of mine are. So, yeah.
All right. And
Awesome.
thank you all for listening. If you're
If you are listening,
if you
that is.
classic.
Gotta hit him with the classic.
Yeah. If you
Also,
are
before we
listening.
end it, hold on. Before we
Oh.
end it, I'll give you guys an update. I'm on page 8 of the released script of Powerpuff Girls.
Oh no.
Oh, has there been any interesting developments?
There's just it's a lot of you know,
Fanfic?
sad
Fanfare?
cringe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a lot of just sad cringe.
Oh.
Bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well, that's a happy note to end on.
Very good.
All right. Thank
All
you
right,
for
see y'all
listening.
next week.
Oh, yeah. See you
you.
next week, Tuesday.
Very cool,
Peace.
very cool.